everyone, welcome to my channel. Every day I'm mothering. This video today is just going to be a quick update and give you some idea on the direction that my channel is going to be heading. It's been a little bit since I posted a video, so I wanted to at least get something up and out so you know what's happening. So we did go on a cruise vacation and we got back about a week and a half ago. And we got so sick at the end of that cruise on like the very last night. And I am just now, like a week and a half later, almost back to being like a functioning human. And I still have some congestion, so if I sound weird, that's what's going on. But obviously I have not been feeling well enough to do any videos or cooking or updates or anything like that. So that's why nothing's been posted for like the last week or so. But I took the time from vacation, being sick, just to kind of think about where I wanted the channel to go and the direction I wanted to take. So I wanted to share that with you so that you'll know what to expect. We did VEGANUARY, and if you've been following along, you know we went like the vegan, plant-based for like that month, but it really extended until pretty much like the end of February. So it was more like 6 or 7 weeks that we did it, and we've had so much fun with it. And I'll do a separate video like really talking about the details of doing that for that amount of time and like some tips I learned and how it went, weight loss and all that. But, you know, in doing so, my channel really took on the focus of that food and how we prepared it and sharing how it went with my family. And I've really enjoyed that. I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback of just people who are looking for realistic but healthy ways to introduce like new meals with their family and with their kids. And that's something that I definitely want to continue doing. But I want to be very open and very transparent. I never want to feel like I'm having to fake anything or do anything for this channel. So with that said, you know, we went into this saying we were going to try to be vegan for a month and see how it went. It was never our intent to do it permanently. And it was really more of a learning experience and getting to try new things and from a health perspective, how we would feel. And we really didn't know what to expect come the end of it. But what's been so interesting and going down this path, joining like different Facebook groups and talking with people, finding out about all these like labels and all these different definitions, and people get really intense about it, like way more than they really should. And I'm not a big fan of like these labels or judging people in any way for what they choose to eat or what they're feeding their family. I just feel like it doesn't benefit anyone. I'm not here for that negativity, and I really wish everybody would just support everyone, but you can't control other people, so whatever. But in doing all this, needless to say, doing all this, you know, we were using this term vegan, and to me, it meant you don't eat meat, you don't eat dairy, and you do not eat eggs and honey. But in learning more, I'm kind of realizing now that vegan is more of this lifestyle, ethically based, and it applies to, furniture, clothes, hair products, all these other aspects. And that wasn't something that we were really taking on at this time. And people get very, I won't say everyone, but I've definitely seen people get quite offended if people use vegan as just the dietary vegan. Even if you go deeper into that, you know, you have the plant-based vegan, and then you have like processed vegan and all that nonsense. And then you have, you know, if you're just plant-based, which is what I started to say towards the end because I was trying not to offend everyone. But, you know, we went more like the plant-based. But even with plant-based, there are those who feel like with plant-based, you can still eat meat, dairy, eggs occasionally, but you're encouraged to avoid them. And there are those that say you cannot, they're not plant-based. Then you have whole food plant-based, and it's like no processed food, and you have like no oil. And then you have like, you know, obviously like your vegetarian where you can eat eggs and dairy, but not meat. And then there's pescatarian where you can eat fish too. There's just so many. And then I saw this Flexitarian, and I'm like, okay, well that's a new one. You know, what's that? So let's check that out. And basically from what I've learned, and I'm sure there's gonna be people that say like this is wrong too, but for Flexitarian, you can pretty much eat whatever the hell you want and all those other groups without actually like limiting yourself or pigeonholing in. And my takeaway from that was that a Flexitarian is attempting to reduce their meat and increase like plant-based meals. And it's more from a health perspective. Whether that's right or wrong, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And so I guess if you had to like throw a term out that we're gonna use moving forward, it would be Flexitarian, but it just kind of seems like a catch-all to me. So sure, we'll go with that. But from my perspective and with my family, you know, and And I'm going to go ahead and say this right off the bat. I know that I may lose some viewers saying this if you came to me looking purely for vegan food or lifestyle. I hope you stay. I understand if you don't. Me and my audience, you know, I really feel like I'm directing this towards people who either are vegan, plant-based, vegetarian, or, you know, flexitarian, or they don't even know what they are. They're just cooking meals for their family, whatever it is. And maybe you just want to introduce more plant-based meals, or you're wanting to cut back on the meat, or, you know, allergic to dairy, or whatever it is. You're just looking for something that is a little bit healthier, some different ways of cooking, different meals that your family and your kids will like. And that's really where I am right now. And, you know, I'm hoping that what I'm going to be sharing in the future will apply to, you know, all those categories of people. It doesn't have to be just one type of group or label that can use these meals. For us, you know, with meat, as far as meat goes, when we initially said we were going to do this, it was for a month. And my husband is a big meat eater. I have been a big meat eater. My kids weren't necessarily. One of them loves sausage, but they weren't really like, they would usually leave the meat behind, honestly, when we would eat the meals. But when I said we were going to do this, the only way I could get my husband on board was to say it was for a month. If I told him we were never eating meat again, and I drew this line in the sand right now and said I'm never going to have meat again, he would not be on board. I would not have the support, and it wouldn't be a positive experience for our family. And I'm not in the place where I want to cook multiple meals, or I want to have any negativity around food and dinner time. Like, I want it to be positive, and I want us to be excited about it. And what we've learned in doing this is that we don't miss meat in our meals. We've had a lot of meals where my husband's even said, like, I don't even know that there's not meat. Like, I don't miss it. It's not a component. There's been a couple flops where we have, and I wouldn't fix those again, as I've shared with you. But for the most part, you know, we haven't missed it. It's been freeing not to think that you're basing your whole meal around some type of meat item, or did I thaw out meat? It seemed to center around meat in the past. And honestly, like, that added up too. It's probably now, I think we've gotten this freedom. We found new recipes where we aren't tied into this meat concept. We were moving to reducing meat from a health perspective. Tell my husband, you know, we may fix a meal with meat, you know, once a month, a couple times a month, or we may not. I mean, we're not going to force ourselves to do it. If no one's craving it, then I'm not going to make it. I say that that possibility is out there. My family is going to be on board and supporting me and excited about this much more than if I say we are never having any meat again. So that's what we're going to choose to do for now for our family, and we're going to see how that goes, you know, in a couple months from now, or wherever it is. As far as dairy, I have loved not having dairy. It's never set well with us. We've never drank milk. We all have always done almond milk, but we were doing a lot of cheese and yogurts, and I could tell, I mean, it wasn't sitting well. We were bloating, and I even feel like it was leading to some skin issues, especially for my daughter who has eczema and allergies. That is not something we're going to go back to. I've been very happy with the cheese replacements, the milk replacements that we have found, and the butter. I mean, I can't tell a difference with it. Some of the cheeses you can, but the ones that we have been happy with, you know, you really can't. Like our pizzas, our mac and cheese. I'm happy with removing dairy. Now again, I'm not strictly saying that we will never have dairy again. I am sure that my children will have ice cream out. If we go out to eat at a Mexican restaurant, you know, once every other month, like I might have a small thing of queso. So again, I'm not locking us in and saying never, but we will not be buying it in the house. And we are, I mean, not just significantly reducing, but pretty much we're going to eliminate dairy from our household and from what we are going to be cooking moving forward. It's a little tougher for me. My family has loved eggs. We eat a lot of eggs, or we did in the past. And my oldest daughter, I mean, she loves eggs. So when we went on this cruise, I had said, you know, we planned this before this whole vegan plant-based thing. And I said, I'm not going to restrict anyone's food. Like, you eat what you want to eat on this cruise. You order what you want to order. And, you know, we'll see if we still crave the same things or if we still like them. But, you know, do what you want to do on this cruise. My daughter was so excited just to order what she calls a bubble egg. It's an over easy egg. They call them bubble eggs. She ate so many eggs on this cruise, and she was so excited to get it again. And they've been really positive about this whole vegan journey and plant-based. Like, they've really embraced it, except for eggs. Like, when she was like, Mom, I can have eggs again. And it just, you know, it hurt my heart a little bit because I don't ever, again, want there to be negative connotation around food. And I understand we're the parents, we select what they eat, we try to give them healthy foods and all of that. I know people get really upset if they're, I've seen debates and arguments with people just really not being nice to other parents, but, well, why are you forcing your kid to eat this bad meat or eggs or whatever? It's not healthy for them. But when they're at an age where they've been raised and they've been eating these things and suddenly you take it away, I mean, it's going to be negative, and I don't ever want food to do that. I think it's such a delicate relationship with food that you have to be so careful. And I just don't want her to ever think, you can't have something, because I think that's when you start getting a slippery slope of having the issues with food and control. So all that to say, what I think will work for us now is that we will still have eggs occasionally, not like we were in the past. And when I buy eggs now, I'm going to buy them locally from someone who is raising the chickens more like pets. And I'm comfortable with that for now. The things I have learned about the dairy and the egg industry, it does turn my stomach. It does really bother me. So I think right now, this is where the point where I'm at. I'll make everybody in the family happy to know that they can have these things occasionally. They're not off limits, but we are reducing from a health standpoint. Oh, now again, I know that's not going to be the perfect answer to some people watching this, and I get it, and I understand. And, I don't really want to see a bunch of debates and all that in the comments. Everyone knows, their justification and what they're okay with doing from their family. And I think we just all need to support each other in whatever works for you. And like I said, I don't ever want to be fake or feel like I have to lie about what we're eating to put on this front to get viewers or whatever. Obviously, I'm trying to build my channel, and it means so much to me. Everyone who has supported me and watched my channel, commented, liked. I'm just mind-boggled at how well it's done in just these couple of months, and I love that, and I hope you continue. But I really want to grow this community where we are sharing, this lifestyle, whether it's food, it's our routines, it's homeschool, it's organization, it's traveling, it's cleaning tips. That is the goal of this channel, and that's what I want to grow it to be. I really hope that this becomes a resource for people, whether, you're a family with young children, or you're a little bit older or younger or whatever. You're just looking for some of these tips. You're looking for some meal ideas, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. I think my plan moving forward as far as food videos, so that's specifically what I'm talking about here, is food, because that's kind of been the focus for the last couple of weeks, since that's been like our kind of challenge as a family. So we've really been focused on that. I'm not going to continue to do the full weekly videos of everything we're eating in a week. The reason for that, these past 6 weeks, I had challenged myself to try a new recipe every day. So that was exciting. I wanted to share with you the successes, the failures. But now we're in a place where I think we can start having some favorites again, and, having some of the same meals, every other week or so. And I feel like that's just going to get repetitive and a little bit boring if I'm sharing with you the same meals over and over again. And realistically, I mean, we have favorites and we're going to reuse some of our meals. So they're not always going to be new all the time. And I don't know that anybody does that. I don't know why you would. So anyway, what I plan to do now is still try like 1 or 2 new recipes a week that are primarily going to be vegan. Dairy-free, no eggs, no meat. And those are, again, like plant-based, whatever you want to call it. But it would fit into all of those umbrellas of labels and terms that everyone throws around. But I want to try a couple things like that, and I'm going to do a specific video on each of those recipes, so you'll see more about how I make it, how we like it, our reactions to it, and that will give you some ideas of new recipes that you can pull in, along with all those old ones in the past. And then I will probably still do like a video every now and then, once a month or so, showing our meal planning and some of our ideas or what we've gotten, some recipes. And I'm kind of open to this, so let me know like what you think or what you want to see. And, it could change as we go into it and we see how it plays out. But I'm trying to make sure that this always stays fresh and informative, and it's kind of new and exciting, and it's going to grow with us and change as we develop what all this channel is going to be. And I do plan on doing 2 uploads a week. My goal is Wednesday and Friday. So, that will incorporate some of the food, some of the other things I've talked about. And that's where I see this going. So hopefully if you stuck with me to the end of this video, like you're excited about that and you're on board, let me know down below what you want to see and what you think about this. And if you fall into some of these categories, like what do you think about all these labels? It seems kind of silly at me at some point. It's like, who really cares what you call yourself and what you're eating and who sets these rules? But like I said, whatever works for you, and that's the mind frame that I'm in. I don't ever want to come from like this lecturing or judgmental place. It's not me. It gives me anxiety when people do that online. I just don't subscribe to that. So this is where we are. This is what you're going to be seeing from. People who are watching this are probably current subscribers. I doubt anyone new saw this and thought, this is the one I want to watch from her. But if you are new, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below to get videos. Go back, look at some of the old videos if you're wanting meal ideas and that's what got you to this video. You hear and you're like, where is the food? Go back and look at my channel. You'll find them there. But for everyone else, I'm really excited to post some new videos and also share with you some of our cruise videos. It's such a good time. Looking forward to some of the next few videos I have planned. Can't wait to hear from you guys and talk to you down in the comments below. Bye everyone.